Hello everyone, my name is Danny. This review is for the movie called Big Time Adolescence. This is a 2019 film, one of the newer ones that are coming around, and it is rated R, runs about an hour and a half. It was supposed to be released March 13th, 2020, so it is a pretty new movie. This stars Griffin Gluck, Emily Arluke, and Michael Devine. The description? A suburban teenager comes of age under the destructive guidance of his best friend, an aimless college dropout. This is Big Time Adolescence. Well, hello everyone. Thank you for watching this video. This movie comes off of research that there are new movies coming out every once in a while. You just have to seek them out and find them and find out how to watch them. I believe this one says that it was on Hulu when it was released in March, but then it's been released to other platforms as well. I watched it not on Hulu. So Big Time Adolescence. Let's talk about it a little bit here. Griffin Gluck is a first name that pops up here. I believe he's our older person that is in the friendship here. And he has done some things. I recognize him from something. And he is just funny. He's just funny. So there's people in this movie that you might recognize, that you might know from something else. And it's nice to get a cast together like that. You're trying to compete with Superbad and movies like Good Boys and stuff like that. And this movie is just a lot of drinking and smoking and talking about girls and talking about relationships and talking about how your parents don't like you or whatever. And the parents in here, they're recognizable also from other things. And one guy is pretty famous. I'll let you find out who he is and how you know him. But I thought he was kind of a weird person to put in the father role here. But it's just a kind of a mixture of a movie that tries to be competitive with some other things, but it doesn't really have a focus, and it's just mostly about our younger friend of the two best friends in this movie. It's kind of about the younger friend growing up and having different role models and going through high school with an image of what it's supposed to be like from somebody that's in their mid-20s or in their 30s already. And that can be really confusing for high school students to try and go off of what was cool in high school 8 years ago. So I mean, like, just think about that nowadays. That wouldn't really work too much. So I think that there's not too much to talk about with this movie. It's just like I said, I laid it out what it's about, and it's funny, but you have to kind of strain to find the funniness. It's a decent story, but it doesn't really stick to the story. It has to deal with all the drugs and alcohol and stuff, and it has a little bit of a twist and a little bit of a good acting and stuff like that, but it's nothing to fawn over or anything. It's nothing to really write home about. So it's just a very cliche, very straightforward, very drug-filled movie, and I didn't get much out of it except trying to smile a couple times and trying to enjoy it for what it was. But it was kind of slow. It was kind of I don't know, kind of like sad, because this isn't any kind of like focused on it. Like, it could have been a party movie and it could have had more partying than what it had, and it wasn't that. And it could have been a really good story about this high school kid and all the stuff he has to go through, and it has that, but it's not quite the best story I've ever heard. So it's just very mediocre, and I'm going to give Big Time Adolescence a C. I think that's one of these movies that gets put out and people want to think it's hilarious and they love these kind of movies, but it's just not even the best version of itself that it could be. There could have been so much more stuff pumped into this movie to make it a little bit more, shocking or whatever, and it just wasn't that. So it's very real. I guess maybe that's why people might like it a little bit. It has to deal with high school kids thinking about sex and a first kiss and who to look up to and how to communicate with your parents and all that stuff. So it has that going for it, but I think that's about it. So a C for Big Time Adolescence. Thanks, guys. My name is Danny. If you like this or any of my other videos, try and give some of them a watch. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would. And enjoy movies. Thanks.